Ayashodhanandana Vrajajananandana Amuratiranachari Amuratiranachari Yashodhanandana Vrajajananandana Yashodhanandana Vrajajananandana Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Shila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Merci. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Yasam Tato Jayamudirayak Ashtaprayesvabhadarishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devakinandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakuparaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome here for Srimad Bhagavatam lecture. This is Canto 1, Chapter 4, entitled The Appearance of Sri Narad. And today we are supposed to read number 6, verse number 6. Is good? Okay. So let us recite the Sanskrit together. Katham alakshit tapore Katham alakshita pore Samprapta kuru jangalam Samprapta kuru jangalam Unmattam kajadavad. The light is really not strong, it's difficult to read. That's okay, I will do. But yeah, the light is like dim. Unmattam kajadavad. Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Vicharangupasavaye Vicharangaja Savaye. Okay, I will recite the full Sanskrit verse and then you can try. Katanalakshita pore samprapta kuru jangalam unmatam kajadavad vicharangaja savaye. Anyone wants to try individually? Yeah, the full mantra. Anyone else wants to try? Vaishnava, Vaishnavis. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Okay. Katam, how? Alakshitaha, recognized. Paurehe, by the citizens. Samprapta, reaching. Kuru Jangalan, the Kuru. Jangala province. Unmata, mad. Mukha, damned. Jadavat, stand. Vicharan, wandering. Gaja Savaye, Hastinapur. Gaja is elephant and Savaye by the name of. Translation. By His Divine Grace and purport by His Divine Grace of Vaishnava Naravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. How was he, Srila Shukadev, the son of Vyasa, recognized by the citizens when he entered the city of Hastinapur, now Delhi, after wandering in the provinces of Kuru and Jangal, appearing like a madman, dumb and retarded? This is Shronaka asking the question to Sutta Goswami. Purport. The present city of Delhi was formerly known as Hastinapur because it was first established by King Hasti. Goswami Shukadev, after leaving his paternal home, was roaming like a madman. And therefore, it was very difficult for the citizens to recognize him in his exalted position. A sage is not, therefore, recognized by sight, but by hearing. One should approach a sadhu or great sage not to see, but to hear him. If one is not prepared to hear the words of a sadhu, there is no profit. Shukadev Goswami was a sadhu who could speak on the transcendental activities of the Lord. He did not satisfy the whims of ordinary citizens. He was recognized when he spoke on the subject of Bhagavatam, and he never attempted juggery like a magician. Outwardly, he appeared to be a retarded, dumb madman, but in fact, he was the most elevated transcendental personality. Just repeating again the verse. How was he, Srila Sukadev, the son of Vyasa, recognized by the citizens when he entered the city of Hastinapur after wandering in the provinces of Kuru and Jangala, appearing like a madman, dumb and retarded? Om Agyantimirandasya Ganangala Shalakaya Shakshun Militam Mina Tasmai Shigurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutare Swayam Rupam Kadamahyam Datati Svapadam Tikam Andeham Shri Guru Shyuta Padakamaram Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Shakham Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kantha Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Om Chakarpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyayevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Asadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. On time. Shri Radha Govinda Madhava ki, Shri Krishna Balaram Giri Govardhan Varadev ki, Shri Gaura Nitai Guru Parampara ki, Nitai Gaur Pramande. So we are fortunate together to read the first canto of the Bhagavatam, which is most wonderful, especially because not only it deals with transcendental characteristic of elevated personalities like Vyasadev, Narada, Shukadev, Parikshit, Pandavas, Draupadi, Uttara, and so on, but also because among all the cantos of Bhagavatam, Prabhupada spent the most time translating and working on this one. So he told to Shrukirti in What's the Difficulty, a book recently published, that in this book, in this first canto, only I put all the realization necessary to attain perfection. So if you are really interested about spiritual elevation, you will need to read that book, and mostly you will get so much empowerment from it. So from this first canto, every word that Prabhupada typed was carefully thought. So there is much realization. Not even Prabhupada thought, Krishna dictated to Prabhupada. So here we have Shukadev Goswami after his birth, which lasted like 16 years in the womb of his mother, if I'm not mistaken. Something unusual, isn't it? It's mentioned in other Puranas that Vyasadeva and his mother were wondering when the baby will go out from the womb. Therefore, they send a message to Krishna in Dwarka. Please come and arrange to pacify our son. He does not want to leave the womb because he is afraid of Maya. Therefore, it's mentioned in the Mahabharata actually that Krishna came from Dwarka to this ashram nearby the bank of the Sarasvati river, in the mountains, and he told to Shukadev in the womb, don't worry, when you will get out, I will protect you from my illusory energy. You won't have any deficiency. You will be always self-realized and you will always be able to think about me. On this condition only, Shukadev accepted to enter into this world. Similarly, we should mold our life to accept only a life, circumstances that are favorable for us to be conscious of God. Here the question of the sages is, please tell me, O Shukadev, tell me, O Sutta Goswami, how Shukadev was able to be recognized by others, since he was wandering naked, like a dumb and retarded madman. Tell me how he was able to be recognized like a proper saint by people, because externally there were no hint of his exalted position. And Prabhupada gives the answer. What's the answer? Did you hear the purport? Yes, please.
To hear.
Yes, exactly. Prabhupada says he doesn't even wait for the Shukadev to answer later on. He immediately answers. Because Shukadev, Sutta Goswami to answer. And actually, it is by hearing that we can know who is a Vaishnava. So, there is a saying that as long as you don't speak, if you are dumb, people won't notice it. Therefore, if you are idiot, don't speak too much. If you are intelligent, then better you enlighten others. So, throughout the Bhagavatam, this process of hearing is emphasized. It is said that this Bhagavatam is given by Shukadev to enlighten the masses of the Kali Yuga. It says, Yasvanubhavam akila shruti saramekam atititir shatam tamuhandam samsarinam karunayaha puranaguyam tam vyasa sunum upayami gurum muninam. I offer my respectful obeisances to the son of Vyasadeva, Shukadev Goswami, who spoke this Bhagavatam for the benefit of all the masses who are engrossed in materialistic activities. For them, this cream of all the Vedic knowledge has been spoken with great realization. So anyone who hears the Bhagavatam, the purport of Srila Prabhupada dictated by Krishna, can be uplifted from sinful birth condition and can attain proper consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So, although Shukadev was appearing like a madman, actually he will benefit the world. That's really strange, because externally you will think that he's a useless, marginal personality. But in fact, despite his external appearance, he will actually be able to benefit the whole humanity and the future generation. So I want to speak about one thing, that there is two types of sadhus. those who are acting from within the society and those who are acting from outside the society. Those who are acting from within the society are those who are like Vyasadev, generally householders, or even those who are in general pertaining to the Varnashram Dharma. Those who can follow the convention of the society. And by following the laws of the time, the man-made laws, then they can fit in the society, and from there they can enlighten others. Because others can interact with them, they look like them, and therefore they can access easily the masses. But there is other people, they are not so numerous, who are more unconventional, more revolutionary in their spirit, and they act from outside, like Shukadev. Shukadev is not fitting in the, let's say, Varnashram Dharma society, or even he could even less fit in the laws of the society of today's world. So the question is, why do some spiritualists attain such a state of spiritual consciousness that they become naked and they don't care about the convention? Why do they need to do that? Did you ever think about that? Why do they need to do that? Why are they like that? So they are called avadutas. Avaduta means like being free like the air. So you cannot stop the air wanders everywhere, and the air is not dressed. Like that. You cannot control that. Similarly, those personalities cannot be controlled. You have a proposition?
I thought you were asking why we are acting like that.
Yes, tell me.
I think to attract the quality of disciples, not quantity.
That's a really good point. It's actually, in a broader perspective, it's to create some distances between them and the masses of materialistic people who can judge them by superficial criteria. So Krishna says, Nam prakasha sarvasya, yogamaya samavrita, lokoma majama vyayam. Those masses who are ignorant, they think I'm human. Even though my appearance is totally transcendental, even though I'm everlasting. So those who are in ignorance, similarly, they will think about Shukadev to be a demeanor, to be totally ignorant, or to be totally totally mad. But Shukadev is acting out of spiritual realization. His realization is, I'm not this body. And his absorption is so intense in God that he forgot even himself. Even his body has no conscious. He's not conscious about that. Therefore, he's not really acting on the same plane of others. And by acting like that, those who are ignorant of spiritual realization, then they don't approach such a person. And for Shukadev, it's good, because being marginal let him free from worries of householders who could come and say, please bless my son, please bless my health, please bless my car, please bless my house, please bless my dog, please bless my chicken, and so on, you know. So many householders, they come for great saint, not for really spiritual realization. They came for materialistic elevation. And Shukadev does not want to deal with that. In fact, do you know the first word in the Bhagavatam? It's in the second canto that Shukadev speaks. Do you know this? Shrotavyadini Rajendra Nenam Santi Sahasrasha Apashyatam Atmatadvam Grishu Griyamidinam. Shukadev, the first word he speaks in the Bhagavatam is, my dear king, there is a lot, thousands of subjects that can be spoken about in this world, but you have chosen to speak about Atma Tattva. This is a subject that Grishu Kriya Medina, those who are attached to material life, household life, and or things like that, they cannot inquire from. So Shukadev demeanor is actually voluntary, because Shukadev from the beginning of his existence is fearful to deal with materialistic people, so much that he was thinking, this Vyasadeva, he has a house, he has a wife, and that's not gonna do it. Even though Vyasadeva was the writer, the compiler, the divider of all the Vedas, he was thinking, no, I cannot trust him. But when Vyasadeva started to chant the glories of Krishna, Atmanamanchtamunyayo, Nirgrantapi Urukrame, this attracted Shukadev. And he thought, okay, his association is bona fide. But as soon as Vyasadeva finished his tuition, his teacher, his teachings, then he left. He left to not become too attached to his father, to the beautiful life nearby the banks of the Saraswati, to his mother, and so on. So moving constantly is like a permanent restart. When you change from one host to another, it's like a mini death. You have to choose when I'm gonna take. Okay, I have to restart a new environment, a new job, maybe possibly new friends, and somehow this is one big component of Vanaprastha life. Going to the forest means going to a place where you don't have facilities and you don't have the habit as well. So Shukadev is going permanently from one place to another to never be attached even to a tree. That's why the Goswami, they were every day sleeping under a different tree, because themselves, they will think, maybe I can be attached to that beautiful tree. Like that. So Shukadev is really detached, and therefore he thinks, let me become so marginal that people won't bother me about materialistic topics. Only those who can perceive that I'm a spiritualist, they will come and talk to me about self-realization. And Parikshit was not ignorant or a blind man. He did not judge by externals. He understood this sadhu is working for humanity from outside the convention. Therefore, he accepted to ask questions and to inquire from him and to obtain realization. So it says that Shushkrusho Shadadhanasya Vasudeva Kata Urichi Sat Nirhat Sevaya Punyatirtha Shilat. That the association of devotees, they is supposed to trigger within you Vasudeva Kata Ruchi. They should awaken a taste for hearing the transcendental subjects of Krishna. And from that, you will, because Syan Mehat Sevaya Vipra, the hearing is considered a service to the sadhus. It's actually a great pleasure when someone asks you about spiritual life and Krishna. It's actually very difficult. Most of the time, we ask people, how is your body today? How is the weather today? How is your child today? How is your bank account today? How is your new phone today? How many followers do you have? Oh, and so much things, that are not related to our spiritual life. But when a sadhu sees a disciple asking genuine question with genuine interest, it triggers so much happiness. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur noticed that within Srila Prabhupada. He says, this person likes to hear. And because he noticed that, he gave two initiation in one time. Harinam, Diksha, and Brahman initiation, both at the same time, because he noticed this person likes to hear. So it says that Vam Bhakti Yoga Parivarita Ritsaruja Shute Kshita Ato Natapumsam. That from the heart of the devotees, Krishna is manifested. Krishna is residing within the heart of the devotees, and from their mouth he is delivered. When it enters the ears, then that Krishna from the heart of the devotees enter into your heart. Their realization is actually starting to bloom like a lotus within you. So through the Bhagavatam you will see many devotees, they pray. I don't care for any condition in this material world. I can be poor, I can be lame, I can be ugly, I can be infamous, but as long as I can hear the glories of the Lord from the mouth of a pure devotee, then I consider this to be the perfection. So Shiva is praying like that. Atana gangres tavakirti tirtaya antarvahisnana vidutapapmanam putejvanu kosha susadva shilinam syatsangamo nugraha shanastava. My dear Lord, your glories are like a place of pilgrimage. They can wash outside and within, like the Ganges. And those who are really compassionate, they deliver your transcendental topics for the benefit of everyone. And they elevate us into pure devotion. This I consider to be the benediction, the only benediction. So Shiva is praying like that. There is a phone. Is it your phone? No, it's mine. Sorry. Yeah, thank you. And Prithu Maharaj also says, Sa utama shluki mahanmu kachuto bhavat padam bodja sudarkana lilaha hanta manta hridayam mukachuto vidadsvan karyana yutam eshame vadaha. My dear Sautama Shloke Mahan Mukhachuto, the glories of the Lord are delivered by the mouth of the devotees, and the sound vibration is like a wind carrying the saffron aromatic particles from the lotus feet of the Lord, and by the entering within the ears, it awakens the transcendental forgotten truth. What is the forgotten transcendental truth? That by hearing Harikatha it awakens. This is, I am not this body, I am eternal servant of the Lord. Kuyoginam novitarati aramvare. Even those who are kuyogi, means really bad yogi, materialistic yogi, they can be elevated. And just the verse after, he says, Kalnayutam ishami varaha. Prithu Maharaj, he says in the 4th canto, he says, give me 1 million years. This I consider your benediction. So, to the degree we have awakened an attraction to hear the transcendental pastimes, to that degree, actually, we are evolving in Krishna consciousness. It's like the thermometer to take the temperature of our progression. If I'm doing such and such service, does not matter. I can be a manager, I can be a co-caretaker, I can be a pot washer. Does not matter if by doing so it awakens and triggers within you attraction for listening to the transcendent glories of the Lord. That's the most important. And if it does not, then you have to reconsider how I can trigger that. Because to know that to not have any attraction for hearing about the Lord is a symptom of indifference to Him. And we don't want to be indifferent to Krishna. We actually want to know Him. We want to know what He likes, what He does not like, what is His entourage, daily activities, and so on. For that, we need to hear. So, one day Prabhupada was walking on the beach. Ramalila knows this story because we read it together. And on the beach, there were a little crab. And Prabhupada was doing his morning walk with his disciples. And he was talking about transcendental subjects. And then one of his disciples looked at the crab and left the group of disciples and Prabhupada walking, and he started to look at the crab, how he was, how he would move, and so on. And therefore, the crab was moving slowly, but the group of disciples with Prabhupada ahead were moving fast. And after 2 minutes, he ran after them to go back again in their association. But meanwhile, while this devotee was not present, Prabhupada turned to his disciples and says, "A little negligence and in snowfall." What is the meaning of that? Is that, you know, when in the mountain, in the icy mountain, a little rock can start to fall, and this triggers more snow, and the more it falls, the more it becomes big. Similarly, Prabhupada understood this little negligence will end up causing his fall down. Why? Because when we accept to be curious, attracted by material things, instead of hearing from the spiritual master, then in the end, we may be attracted to something else and leave ISKCON totally, because we are not interested to listen from the devotees overall. If we are not interested to hear about our spiritual master, what to speak of the other devotees, isn't it? So if we are alone by our own selves, and if we accept to listen only our own mind, then surely we will leave. So Prabhupada foresaw the future. This devotee left ISKCON a few weeks later. So Shukadev told Parikshit Maharaj, Srotavyadini Rajendra Nidam Santisa Shocha. There is millions topics. I want to tell you that this is actually one of the most dangerous thing, to not hear Harikatha, because when you don't hear Harikatha, the tongue wants to speak about something else. If you don't speak Harikatha and don't listen Harikatha, if you don't hear Harikatha first, you won't be able to speak Harikatha. If you don't speak Harikatha, what you gonna speak? Gramya Katha, Prajalpa. Exactly. So, Shutakirtin, what's the difficulty? I'm reading this book actually, so it really entertains me. I can share one really impressive story that related to the topic, that when Srila Prabhupada was with his disciples in the early days of Mayapur, when all the facilities were not there, Prabhupada would live in a big room with his disciples, so he would hear what they would speak about. And the devotees were speaking about that devotee, this devotee, how is he, what is he doing, did he marry or not, how is he, Oh, he has divorced, really? No, no way, possible. Oh, okay, he has a new job and so on and so on. And Prabhupada told Shutakirti, please tell them to stop this nonsense. It will destroy the movement. Such strong words, isn't it? Just for small talks. But this can trigger the fall down of our own spiritual life and the fall down of the spiritual life of others. Just by speaking about, what looks like social subjects, but actually, if we develop a taste for that, then the only time when we will meet devotees, we will only speak about those things. The same thing that materialistic people are speaking about. So what's the difference with devotees, So Prabhupada saw this is a concern. They should not do it. But Shutakirti was feeling afraid. They are my senior, this God brothers. I cannot tell them what Prabhupada said because it's so hard. I have to water it down. So Shutakirti would say, Prabhupada, he says, maybe you should not speak about so much things like that. Better you speak Harikatha. But he didn't say the blunt truth that your spiritual life will be finished if you continue like that. It was so hard, the words of Sadhu are really cutting. So I think it's a matter of nourishment for the devotees to read and to hear. If they are not able to read by themselves, they must ask, inquire a lot from devotees. If they don't do so, they won't get the taste of Harikatha. If they don't get the taste of Harikatha, they will speak political subjects within the temple. Oh, this manager, this devotee, he does that. It's not so good. Maybe he should do like that and this. And it's okay if you speak from time to time like that. But if it becomes a constant subject of, talk, then you are surely not good, not well situated. It can happen from time to time that you speak about that if it's relevant. But if you have the habit to like to talk about political, social subjects instead of spiritual subject, then I tell you, you are in danger. You may leave ISKCON because you will do offenses to the devotees. When we start to deal with social and political subjects, then we are likely to criticize others in this age of Kali. And by criticizing others, we do offenses. So often we minimize offenses. We think this is karma. But bhakti is independent from karma. Offenses are actually an action against Radharani, against bhakti. Karma is not against bhakti per se. You can have a lot of bad karma, but it is not in link with bhakti. Bhakti has its own sphere. When I'm doing an offense, it's much more worse than karma. If I'm doing an offense, I'm ruining my spiritual life. If I'm doing, let's say, a sin, it has actually no effect on my spiritual life. Because bhakti is independent. Bhakti can uplift you from any sphere, from any condition. So it may have a little incidence, but Krishna says, Ham tvam sarva padebhyo mokshashi shami masucha. If I'm doing a sin, let's say I'm walking on an ant, this is a sin. But Krishna says, because you serve me, it does not affect your spiritual life if it's involuntary done. Okay? But let's say I'm walking on the feet of my Guru Maharaj, and I notice he has pain, and I don't have the etiquette to, excuse myself, then This is different thing, because it's related to bhakti. And this offense can cause our, our fall down. So we have to be really careful about what we speak to the devotees. And one way is, I don't want to make you loath, but Mahaprasade Govinde, Nama Paramani Vaishnave, Svapa Punyavatam Najot, Vijwasuna Vajayate. Those who are unfaithful, they are not believing in the glories of the holy name, the brahmanas, and the prasadam. And the prasadam help us to, Krishna's mercy help us to control the tongue. So if you don't like to hear about transcendental subject of Harikatha, you can eat prasadam, you can chant the holy name. But avoid political and social subject as much as possible. Otherwise you will be soon in trouble. And you will cause others to be in trouble. So, yeah, I think this is one important point. And I wanted just to add the last point, that, Shukadev, he may behave like that, unconventionally. To hear only people who ask spiritual questions about Atma Tattva, at least, if not direct Krishna Katha. But one other aspect of behaving like that could be as well that the rules and regulation of someone who is absorbed in love of God cannot be applied on him. Someone who is really transcendental is by nature at a little or a lot unconventional. For example, you take Prabhupada, he was by many aspects unconventional. For example, we have Shukadev, who is naked. But Prabhupada would preach to naked people, both men and women. This is in a community where he found actually later on what will become His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Vishnu Jan. Both of them were originally naked people in trees, standing there. It's mentioned in Prabhupada Lilamrita, isn't it? So, and Prabhupada told them, don't you know what you are supposed to do? I mean, to cover yourself. So usually you don't expect a sannyasi to preach to nudists, isn't it? And I'm sure if one of our member of the community will do that, then maybe he will be excommunicated, And I don't know if one of our sannyasis even dare to do that, then so much Ridvik will, blaspheme him. Really? Rainbow Festival. Wonderful. Yes. And Prabhupada knew it, they are nudists. I'm still coming there because they are eager, and they invited me, they are eager to listen. And Prabhupada found there two of his most wonderful disciples, who had changed the face of ISKCON forever, So it is not that we can judge so easily a sadhu. To understand the sadhu, we have to speak with him. And when you speak with him, you can know who is who. So Shukadev acted in such a way that he was beyond the rules, because those rules were not in line with his feelings of love. So he would go beyond the boundaries. Now, in France we have many areas where people are nudist. Doesn't mean they are spiritual. Shukadev was acting like that, like a madman, a dumb or retarded person, as it's mentioned, because he was so absorbed in love of God that he was not conscious about his body. Where others who are like nudists, we should not think that they are as spiritual as Shukadev because just they take out the cloth, This is a revendication of their body. This is not a liberation of the bodily consciousness. They have some ideology, some political, social purposes behind being nudist. Never it has been seen, heard, or said that by being nudist, I can be free from sex desire and be enlightened in love of God. Not like that. So don't misinterpret that. People who read the Bhagavatam from the first time, they could think, oh, I should become a nudist to be transcendental. Not like that. It's not working like that. It's actually when you attain self-realization that to such an extent that you are not conscious of your body, maybe you will become like that. So in India, it's still happening. So some of the Babas, they are naked. And people, they understand. They are not acting out of a revendication of their bodily liberty. No, they are acting because they are carefree from the bodily necessities. They don't bother so much about eating, sleeping, even dressing, like that. They don't care about cold, hot. I've seen on the social website some sadhus, they are in the mountain and they are naked in the snow, under the snow, From time to time they go out from the snow and they go in the villages and they go back to their ashram under the snow. So like that. They are really beyond dualities. So like that. So this is what I wanted to say. So overall, one point, if you want to understand who is who, you have to hear from them. They may be unconventional, but if they speak absolute truth, you have to respect them. And if you want to get a taste for hearing, you have to associate with the sadhus. If you want to speak Harikatha, you have to listen a lot. And if you want to avoid creating offenses and doing prajalpa, you have to listen a lot in order to speak with others about Harikatha. This is one important point. And this will save your spiritual life and your community as well. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment? Here, please.
About maybe I want to disturb some people here, but really this is very disturbing. Yes. This is a place, a temple room, where it is for concentrated on Krishna consciousness. Yes. And I can understand the management as you get on their phone. I'm not talking about them, but a lot of people now during japa or during even class, they are just on their phone, and I feel it, not Mataji because she has translation, but I can imagine the speaker, we see a bunch of people on their phone.
It's not inspiring.
I watch Maya for TV, I don't see that in the temple. I mean, here it's just an habit of taking advantage of that Wi-Fi instead of doing it at least outside the temple, no? Even in church, they don't do that.
Can I comment? Can I comment?
Yeah.
Can I reply? Actually, to be honest, Mata, I see that everywhere. there is a large number of the devotees, when they attend the class, they have this addiction. They have to look at their phone. And they don't do that, because it's Bhagavatam. They do that because they have conditioned themselves so much that they cannot, do something else. They have looked so much at their phone that naturally, every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes, they have to look at the clock. They have to look, did I receive a message? What is the new Instagram video? What is the new topic on Facebook? What is the other message on WhatsApp? And so on. And this is an addiction, Even for myself, I'm really careful because I see how it goes within my life and how it's just, create disturbance in my sadhana and so on. So I think it's more a global problem, not only for devotees but whole society. All the generation, all the people, they are addicted to the phone. So, in the four regulative principles, we are supposed to not take intoxication, no addiction. But one of the addiction is actually social website. And we should maybe start to think to incorporate addiction as intoxication. Addiction of phone, as an intoxication. Because as Janava, she says, we may not take coffee, we may not take alcohol, we may not have addiction, but this is acting in the same way that alcohol and things like that does. It deviates our attention constantly from Krishna, from being present. It alterates our consciousness, isn't it?
It is meant for that.
It is meant for that. Do you feel it? Yeah. Sometimes you are just there and your mind triggers. Oh, check. Sometimes there is even a thing called phantom vibration. Do you know what it is? It's a syndrome that your mind imagine, you are so addicted to look at your phone that your mind imagine that your phone is vibrating. And you have, there is a vibration. Oh no, it's actually an interpretation of the mind. So this technology is really empowering Prajalpa, empowering Ramyakata. It can also empower preaching. Until now, on internet, we are not so visible. So some people has to take the risk, Some people has to be on their phone in order to promote Krishna consciousnness. Because this is where people's attention is, on internet. At the same time, in this phone, you can have all the Prajalpa, all the pornography, all subtle sex addiction just within your pocket. So it's such a powerful tool of preaching because everybody is there, waiting to hear Harikatha on internet, because this is the medium of today world, But at the same time, all the Prajalpa is there as well. So it's really difficult. And I think, this is a concern for the whole world, not only for the devotees. We have to be careful with technology and the use we do out of it. Yukta Vairagya is not a pretext to do mundane activities, to break our regulative principles. Is okay?
Yeah, I was talking mostly in the temple room. Outside,
Yeah.
I'm not concerned. But at least respect this time. Like, it's disturbing also. When
I know.
I change up and I see the people on their phone, it is disturbing. Sometimes I just go out because it's just, it's so nice when everybody's concentrated on their japa. It makes such a nice energy. Like when Akshan is there, it's so wonderful because it puts the energy, But when you see so much inattention around you, it's like you come here to get strength.
Yes.
So the strength comes from everybody. Prabhupada said, many stick you cannot break. So all together we should be strong. at least during the class, and I'm begging the devotees during class and during japa, respect that this time,
A few years ago, I think, I remember Gandharvika, she was putting a basket, and everybody, before japa, would put their phone in the basket. Like that. It was already a problem a few years ago. You need to have kindness in order to tell the things and correct people. Maybe you can ask to someone from whom they have affection and they can listen from. Obviously, it's a concern for their spiritual life, so they should be helped. It should be dealt with. And my advice, if you are really disturbed by that, just close your eyes and chant. That's what I'm doing. When I'm chanting, I'm closing the eyes most of the time because I don't want to see people coming and going, because I don't want to see so many things that could be disturbing my meditation. So that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur will do. He will put a cloth on his head. So that's one thing individually you can do, and as a community you can try to see who has that problem, that tendency, and how we can help them, who can approach them, talk about that. Because on the long term, for sure, as you noticed, it will be detrimental for them and for the whole atmosphere of the temple. Yeah.
because we have new people coming here sometimes, and they take it very seriously. And
Yes,
sometimes
yes.
they are the only one who chants seriously,
Yes.
So, but they see, I'm sure they watch, and they must be wondering what's going on,
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yes. Also, the problem.
Just if I may, because something similar happened like that when I first joined and I was new for Jamanda. As a bhakta, I used to do one thing is that to go on Prabhupada's instruction on my phone because I wanted to kind of read an instruction of Prabhupada and then chant and be absorbed in that. But then my spiritual master Revatinandan Swami at that time, he told another devotee, he said, please go and tell him to not do that. And
because we don't know what you're doing.
exactly, that's one thing. But also at that time, I took it like because I was foolish back then, so I took it. But why I'm looking at Prabhupada's instruction, I'm trying to. But then afterwards, I understood, because it's disturbing others, and therefore what he meant by that is just don't do it in the temple room. Just go outside or do it before, but don't do it. Don't be on your phone while you are in the temple room. And now I understand because it's disturbing others' meditation. So therefore, just to have this awareness that we should not be on the phone because sometimes it's just disturbing others. So now I understand. So
just as a side note, I'm the worst example. Because if you see me chanting, there is a font in front of me. There is the photo of Krishna, a painting of Radha, something like that. I'm chanting, looking at my phone. If I'm not closing the eyes, I'm looking at my phone. Therefore, I usually chant alone because it's a bad example.
it can be misinterpreted.
Yes.
No, I mean, raising awareness would be a good point. Like, she has a point that, it's like why we recite every day 10 offenses. All of us know it, but, to live it takes time. So, during the meetings, I mean, even for ourselves, Keshav Maharaj personally said to us, 7 p.m. we should stop using the phone. He told especially Gandharvika. I know Gandharvika is mostly working. I use it for entertainment sometimes, but she doesn't do it. 7 p.m. Keshav Maharaj said stop using your phone, and then next day take your phone after 9 a.m. I think Burijan Prabhu does this. He locks his phone in a locker in the evening, and then the lock only opens at like 9 p.m. Wow. So that's the phone from time. So yeah, I mean, as you know, as I said, 10 offenses we try to read every day so that we don't do them during the meetings. Like even like friendly, we can say, hey, temple room, we have to remind each other, like friends, like buddies, that hey, temple room. We should, first of all, it's so difficult. Even like see, most of you are visitors in the temple room. You go in the Prasadam hall. There's so many of our devotee friends don't want to even come to the first effort is somehow bring devotees into morning program more. But if we do it in the right way, instead of getting affected and instead of putting pressure on ourselves and others, as you see, Jananand Maharaj always tries to inspire rather than get frustrated or we are at one stage we will offend them, even though if it's a phone or something else, it comes out. So we have to learn the art ourselves, how we have to be example, and then how we can approach others with kindness and friendship. And if you do it with passion, that's detrimental again. As you see, managers will always make that mistake. Oh, I should have done it nicely rather than just go up to them. And I don't remember one time, as you just said about this phone and the basket story. I won't mention the name. I heard she was using her phone when she was chanting in the temple room. I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I went and took the phone. She still hurt. This devotee still hurt. So, as a team, we have to see how we can do it in a way that we don't offend anybody, we don't, traumatize anybody.
I'm just concerned. The time is normally we are. It's okay.
Are there more examples of avadutas other than Sukadeva Goswami?
Yeah, Kumaras, Rishabhadev on his later stage, Bharat, Jada Bharat, yes. Yeah, Nityananda, yeah, like that. And the Python. Yes, the Avaduta Brahman. Even some of the Navayogendras. Even Shiva, to some extent, is seen like an Avaduta by Daksha. So many things. Hare Krishna. Yes?
Just to go back to the telephone, Srila Prabhupada, when he was in New York, they installed the telephone in his room. And then he asked for the telephone to be removed because devotees would call him even in the middle of the night. How are you? From different places. And actually, in the early days, we didn't have any telephone. But the relationships were so mystical. Actually, whenever you needed something, it would come. You didn't have to interact so much like for smaller things.
My mom came here, she's there, and she told me, oh, it's so good for me to have desintoxication from phone addiction. Because she's also using to deal with my brother and his son and grandson, and she look a lot at TV actually, more than phone. And so here she does not have the opportunity to look at TV show, and to speak with my brother all day long and with the son and grandson. So it's actually benefiting her consciousness, she told me. So it's sometimes we think, oh my God, this New Mayapur is out of range, to have a call. Everything is so slow because of that. But in the same time, we are protected. It's a protection from Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Just a quick one. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but thank you so much for the class. And half of it was in Sanskrit, so he explained everything. So we were talking about sin, sinful activity,
Yes.
and also offenses.
Yes.
So, if we break regulative principles, is that sinful or is that offenses?
As when you do the vow, it becomes an offense, and especially when you know it's hurting bhakti, it becomes an offense. When you the 10th offense is to maintain material attachments, even understanding so many instructions on this matter. So when you are becoming conscious that these regulative principles is benefiting my spiritual life and is actually a basis for my connection to Krishna through the holy name, then it becomes an offense. Before that, it's not the same, because you don't have awareness of that. Is it good?
Like committing sinful activity on the strength of chanting.
Yes, exactly. Committing sinful activities on the strength of the holy name as well. So, like that. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Jai Srila Prabhupada.